February 2024 has already came and left, and I've been making some massive changes to my 7-figure dividend growth portfolio, buying a ton of new long-term positions, and in February I added a ton of new dividend income to my portfolio. But in this video we're going to go through my entire 7-figure portfolio, and I'm going to share with you every single position I currently have in it and some of my main positions that I'm trying to build out. On top of that, I'm also going to show you every single dividend for the most part that I was paid in February, and stay tuned because there were some very juicy payers last month. So if you want to see a transparent look into my actual portfolio and see what I've been doing, make sure to drop a like down below, stick around, and let's get right into it. I just finished my brand new dividend investing ebook where I share exactly how I went from zero to now over 7 figures invested, and also on how I earned more than $6,000 per month in dividends. I also finished my custom dividend tracker that you can use to track your dividend income progress on an ongoing basis. So make sure to grab yourself a copy of my dividend investing ebook and the new dividend tracker today. It's the first link in my description. So first off, this is how the portfolio is sitting as of right now. And I'm going to stop and explain if I added a position to a specific position, etc. But as of right now, we're sitting with 1,748 shares of BDJ. We are sitting at 1,459 shares of Devo. I have been adding a lot of Devo to the portfolio if you guys have been following along. Devo is one of my favorite buy and hold positions, and even though Devo isn't as cheap as I wish it was right now, I'm still adding quite a bit of Devo to the portfolio. Then we have our 1,262 shares of Verizon, nothing new there. We have our 1,000 shares of Apple, nothing new there. qyld, the global Nasdaq covered call fund. This is an ETF that I have not touched, not added to in a very long time, but just as of recently, I actually have, for the first time in well over a year, grabbed a few new shares of qyld, and I'll probably explain exactly why more in depth in a future video because it is sort of interesting on my reasoning, but more or less obviously just to add some higher income positions into the portfolio, balancing everything out. qyld is one of my newer buys just as of recently. Realty income, I grabbed a few shares of realty income last month. We're at 2,845 shares of realty income, more or less, inching closer and closer to that 3,000 share goal for realty income. Then we have jepi 1248, we have EPD Enterprise Products Partners 744, BST still 700, MPW 611. We're at 507 shares of JEPQ. I did grab a few shares of JEPQ last month, not all that much, but just a few. OHI still at 300 shares, NUC still 246, XYLD 194. Then SCHD, you guys know I've been trying to build out my SCHD position extensively over this year. My longer term goal before 2025 is 1,000 shares. Now currently we're at 568. I think I have to update this because I did grab a share or two today even. So we're roughly sitting at 570 shares, which isn't all that bad, although I still do have quite a bit to go if I want to hit that 1,000 share goal. By the end of this year, I think I really need to pick up the pace. And I talked about in a recent video that SCHD, although it is my main focus right now as far as sort of like a pillar position in the portfolio, I have also been deploying some money in things like I talked about earlier, like Devo and even some qyld, some realty income, etc. But SCHD is going good. I'm really hoping for a dividend increase in SCHD coming soon here. Then we have 311 shares of Altria, we have 261 of Triple N, JP Morgan 100 shares, we still got our 293 shares of Vici, KMI 59 shares, Main Street Capital is another one that I've been adding a little bit of as of recently. Main Street Capital is a lot higher than I wish it was currently. I wish it would drop a little bit to grab some more shares for a little bit cheaper, but Main is one of those ones I grab maybe every 3 or 4 days. Walgreens still 89 shares, WP Carey 351, PNW 47 shares, we still have our 255 shares of TSLY, UPS 24 shares, Pembina 20, we have 18 Arbor, we got our 16 Extra, we got our 17 Simon Property Group, we got our 12 shares of SVOL. I think I have to update this because I did add a few more shares of SVOL, I think yesterday. We got 9 Stag, we got 8 T-Row, we still have our 19 Kimberly Clark, our 3192 BNQ, we have our 200 Coca-Cola, and 700 PSA. So as the portfolio sits as of right now, those are basically all the new positions I've been adding to in the month of February. Like I said, for now, at least as the portfolio sits, I'm really trying to build out the positions in SCHD, some Devo, and then some other higher yield stragglers here and there. But the portfolio overall is progressing nicely. I'm trying to add at least $1 to $2 per day of forward monthly dividend income, and especially recently with buying a share or two of qyld or even JEPQ, I'm really able to do that quite easily because of course those do pay a lot more on a monthly basis. The portfolio as of right now is estimated to be paying me around $6,200 per month or so. Again, this is all estimated because these numbers are of course going to change ongoingly, but this is where the portfolio sits as of right now. Before we go through all the dividend income, comment down below your #1 favorite position in the portfolio as it sits current. So as far as dividends that were paid last month, first, these are all the dividends that were paid to me. And I think maybe my second largest portfolio, we're going to go over a few of my large portfolios in this video and share with you everything that I was paid as far as dividends go. So first, February 6th in this portfolio, I was paid $3.66 from BTI, then JEP in this portfolio. Then I received $42 from TSLY. I got $29.28 from Main Street Capital, Triple N $79.67, not bad at all. Realty income alone in this portfolio paid me $279.35. Devo paid me $33.63 in this portfolio. Then towards the end of February, we got $5.62, and this is from BDJ. Then, of course, from the Fidelity SPACs, we got $4.44. Then last but not least, in February, we got $3.33, and this is from SVOL. Next on my much larger portfolio, here we go. In the month of February, we got $201.71. This is from jepi. We got $124.71 from JEPQ. So just between jepi and JEPQ in this portfolio, I'm paid around $310 to maybe $375 every single month with just those two positions in this portfolio, which is kind of awesome. Then AMZY paid me 68 cents in February. This is as of the 9th. 36.01 from Tesla. We got $1.21 from APLY. Coney paid me $4.30. Then we had a massive distribution from Enterprise Product Partners. $304.37. This is, of course, a quarterly payment. ADC paid us a quarter. We got $1.10 from HRZN. We got our massive quarterly payout from OHI. $201 from them, $64.41 from Triple N. Realty income in this portfolio paid $241.62. My 1,000 shares of Apple paid me $240 in dividends, which is awesome. I hope Apple does do a nice dividend increase sometime soon here. I'm really hoping so. Main Street Capital paid $15.12. We got $16.67 from KMI. Then later on in the month, we got 65 cents from CEFD, SPYI, one of my newer favorite positions. Another interesting cover call fund, definitely check it out. $6.95 from SPYI. We got QQQI, 59 cents. $2.26 from NUSI. Then we got 55.81 at the end of the month. Then we got 55.81 from XYLD, 145.30 from QYLD. We got 11.02 from UTG. We got 40 cents from AWP. BUI paid us the monthly, $9.80. BST, $125.75. $93.35 from BDJ. Then lastly, $174.53 from Devo. We got $23.40 from SVOL. And we got $24.26 from ETJ. So the month of February, although it wasn't the biggest dividend payouts of all time for me, there were some monster quarterly payers, like of course the $240 from the Apple shares. We had our $200+ payouts from OHI, and then our massive $304 payout from EBD. Now, all in all, my goal for the rest of this year with this portfolio is to continue to buy dividend-paying stocks and ETFs, of course, that are not only going to continue to pay dividends, meaning that hopefully the dividend will be safe for long into the future, but also I want to buy a good amount of different stocks and ETFs that also pay more and more in dividends long term, like SCHD, for example, that does have historical dividend growth, which is going to allow me to earn even more money long term in this portfolio. So there we have it. Those are for the most part all the buys that I made in my long-term portfolio in the month of February, and also some of the main dividends that I was paid last month throughout just two of my portfolios. But lastly, I want to hear from you guys down below. In the month of February, what was your #1 largest dividend payment? Drop it in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to please drop a like in it and subscribe for more future content like this. Thanks as always for stopping by, and if you are interested in investing, make sure to check out these recent videos I posted right here.